what type of products that you guys want, right? And usually our shirts, as of right now, might include are around 100,000, 120,000. Yep, as of right now, right? But then if you guys ever want, hey, let's have other types of products, right? Then we'll have to put the prices consideration. Though of course, we're not trying to maximize profit and 300% profit. No, we're not that kind of corporation, right?
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Gentlemen, Abigail highlighted some of her experience in the leadership position. Do you have, either of you, any experience in a leadership position, whether at school or outside of school?
Yes, I have had leadership experience in school and outside of school. Maybe it's not a big one, like social outreach leader, but for example, I'm a part of the chapel band, and then sometimes I also take part on leading how the song goes or what songs to choose, or I am also a part in not after school sport, extra curricular school sport. I am a part of a baseball team, but then in a baseball team, we don't usually elect a captain, but then I realized that there's formal roles in a sports team and there's informal roles in a sports team. Formal roles are, for example, you're the goalkeeper or you're like the center defender, you're leading the other defenders. But I realized that informal roles are also important in the sports teams, and I take my time on like spending time, make sure that I lead on the informal roles. For example, that I show how much I want to win the competition, or or sometimes I see someone else leading as the class clown and make things happy in the team. So I think leadership doesn't always has to be formal, but then what's important is your heart in being the leader. And a good leader also has to be a good member. So if you want to be a good leader, to be a good member too.
Hello. Okay. I'll divide my answer based on in school and outside of school. Firstly, in school, I am leader of a debate club here in SBL. It's called Speak Up Club. Maybe some of you have heard it, whether your older brothers sisters are in it. I've been doing that since this year, right? And what I usually do is end up coordinating what has to be done every Friday and helping the team prepare for debate events somewhere in the future and things like that. Outside of speaking of informal leaderships, I play center in the SBL's SMA volleyball team, and well, it sort of is being a leader, but not really. It's like I get to do way more work than anyone else really, but I enjoy that too because I get to lead where the team goes. Going to outside of school, I was leader a year ago in this organization, which Mile is a part of as well. It's called Children's International Summer Villages, or CISV for short. Really, it's an organization that, put it simply, believes that world peace can be achieved through understanding of the children, not of diplomats, but of children. So there's a large emphasis on what we children do. And it's sort of a multicultural understanding. It's also a youth volunteer organization, much the same way that Student Council is here in SPH. I was a chapter leader of one of the two chapters in Indonesia. Mile is part of the other chapter. I'm a part of the chapter that's here more in West Asia. I did that a year and a half ago now. But ever since, I'm still sort of part of it, but leadership is only for a year because they didn't allow it for longer. Yeah.
All right, we probably have time for one more question. Anybody have one that they want to ask at the back?
Do you have a backup plan?
I think you need to be a lot more specific with your question.
Do you like have a plan B and in case?
More specific. If what?
Plan B for like their they have a plan, and if it doesn't, okay, they have a plan, and if it doesn't work, do they have another plan for it, like a backup plan?
So I'm assuming that you're talking about my presidential plans, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, my presidential plans mostly revolve around what you guys want. I know it's not a very good answer, but whatever you guys tend to want, you know, will be my backup plan, because then again, I'm serving you guys, right? And if I'm doing things that you don't want, it's like if I want to eat spaghetti, but you guys are giving me herbal soup, doesn't make any sense, right?
That is how you promote stuff.
The thing about leading the student council is that it's kind of constantly evolving because there's so many people involved. So there's the president, 4 people on top, then there's committee leaders, and then there's committees, then there's the whole student body, right? So it's all kind of working together, taking other people's ideas. You know, that's just the way it works. It's not like we have like a whole set plan for what we're going to do for the whole rest of the year, right? Because the committees are the actual ones making events, right? So we're just supervising them and leading them in our vision and our direction, and you know, doing the organizing of the how to lead the committees specifically, or the committee leaders, yeah.
Hello, I'm the last one, and the answers, they're both correct with the answers, and I want to add on to them, and yeah, as a president, I cannot like ask you one by one, what do you want, but that's the role of the student council. I can monitor with the system we have, and then we ask one by one, then the member communicates with their grade, then the leader communicates with the committee. So communication is important, and I guess communication is my plan B to know what the school wants.
All right, why don't you join and give all 3 candidates a round of applause. We're now going into lunchtime, and I will dismiss you. But first, I'd like to ask if there's any announcements from the grade 7s or 8 year level new teachers. Okay. I will also say this: if you had some questions or you want to know a little bit more, these guys will be here for a few minutes afterwards. If you want to just hang back and ask them questions individually, you're quite welcome to do that. Anything else, Mr. Craig? All right. Let's dismiss in a somewhat orderly. Oh wait, we do have another announcement. So let's keep your attention, please.
The Social Outreach Committee is actually having our next event, which is 30-hour famine. So it's where you fast for 30 hours, and then you that'll be on a Friday to Saturday morning. And then you sign up for that, and then you get money from your friends and family, and then the money that you raise for fasting goes to an organization. Which this year will be Rachel House, which is Indonesia's first center for children who are dying of terminal illnesses to help them in their last days. So yeah, it's a really strong issue. And then we end by sleeping over at school together, having games, learning about the issue and organization, and yeah. So sign-ups for you guys will be in middle school TU. I think they'll be up there tomorrow morning. So yeah.
Okay. Let's have the last 5 rows.